Hey there, planner friends. I'm back for another plan with me in my Hobonichi Weeks. This is for the week of November 11th, 2019. I just removed the pen holder from the front of my planner to help everything lie completely flat, and then referred to my monthly view to make sure there are no appointments that need to be carried over into the weekly spread. I tried something a little different today that I really ended up liking and would recommend. If you've never tried it before, you may want to give it a go. I took each category that I'll be putting into this weekly spread and just jotted down some notes ahead of time on Post-it notes. So I had a Post-it note for the weekly appointments that needed to be added. I had a separate Post-it note for the weather, meal planning, etc. And I initially did that thinking it would help with the filming process. But after I did it, I realized that it was helpful to see at a glance all of the information that needed to go into the weekly spread. That way it just gives you an idea of how much you have to write in each section and kind of helps lay out a plan in advance for the layout. So whether I'm filming or not, I'm probably going to continue that process in the future. If you've never tried it, give it a go. I think it was really helpful. So the first thing that I did was jot down Veterans Day for today. The boys are out of school. Thank you and a big salute to all of our veterans. After that, I went in and started recording the locations and times for 2 different Camp Gladiator class options for the days that I plan to go this week. That's what I do for exercise. Camp Gladiator is like a high intensity interval training class. I really enjoy it. We always meet in outdoor locations, which is nice, but this week we are going to have some really low temperatures, below freezing on several days. So even though I'm writing down 2 class times and locations for each day, I'm not going to be going to 2 classes, but I wanted to give myself a morning option and an afternoon option in advance. That way, if I happen to miss a morning class because of the cold weather, I'll already have an afternoon option recorded with a different time and location. So after that, I moved on to the next section, which is recording the weather. I put in the high and low temp for the day and then just hand doodle a little weather icon. This is obviously for the projected or forecasted weather and not the actual weather, but I've been doing this for a long time because it helps me to see and plan in advance. If I know it's going to be raining or storming, then that kind of affects how I tell the kids to dress for school and how I dress for work, etc. So I've been planning the weather for a long time, and that's why. I did a little different doodle for sunshine this week. After drawing the circle in the center for the sun, I drew little triangles around the sun, and I think it turned out cute. I used to just do a circle and the little hash marks, but it always makes me laugh when I'm done doing that because it reminds me of a spider with like little spindly legs or something. So anyway, getting the weather out for the week. Thankfully, today's the only day that rain is forecasted. Okay, and then this is something that I did not do last week, and I paid for it dearly. When I did my weekly spread last week, I had been out of town the weekend before, so I didn't do my normal grocery shopping and meal planning, and it was a bit of a disaster during the week because of that. So I did buy groceries yesterday, like I normally do, and I'm just going in the bottom of each section under the weather and jotting down the meals that I plan to cook for this week. We'll have leftovers one night, and then I plan to cook 4 nights during the week, and on Saturday and Sunday we'll be dining out. The 16th of November is my baby son's 12th birthday, so that was already recorded on the 16th. Now I'm moving over to the right side of the spread, and this is also something that I did not add in my spread last week, but I just put a reminder across the very top for the Fly Lady zone of the week, just to remind me the rooms of the house that go along with the Fly Lady cleaning system. That's something that I've been kind of slacking on here lately, and I want to get back into it. So I put that reminder at the top of the page. This week is zone 3, which will be half bath, laundry room, and office for deep cleaning and decluttering. So under that section, I'm doing what I've been doing for quite some time. This is kind of a working task list that lasts throughout the week. I just give it the heading week of 11/11 to 11/17. And underneath that, I use kind of the bullet journaling system where you put a dot for each task. I listed all of the tasks that I could think of that needed to be accomplished this week, and as they get accomplished, I'll just put a little X mark through the dot to show that it's been done. This is a working list that will be added to throughout the week, so I usually try to leave a little area of blank space underneath on Monday to give room to add new tasks throughout the week. Got my usual dry cleaning pick up and drop off, and a couple other new things that came to mind. That looks like I'm done for my tasks. And then I left some space, and the next section is to buy. And normally this starts out as a very short list, and then, sometimes can grow over the week. But for some reason today I was thinking of several things that I should have picked up yesterday and didn't have it on my list. So I'm starting out this week with maybe 5 or 6 things on the to buy list. It was more than usual. And then what I'll do toward the end of the week on Friday or Saturday is just make a notation of the memo page number in the back of the book for my grocery list, so I'll know what page to refer to quickly. And then I'll go into the memo pages in the back and make an extensive grocery list before I go shopping again next Sunday. Looks like I'm still writing. I knew it was more items than usual on the to buy list. Okay, now I'm taking the green Hobonichi stencil to add a couple, well actually 4 little trackers at the bottom of the page. I haven't added trackers in a long time. Once something becomes a habit, I don't add a tracker just for the sake of marking it off. However, there are, 4 things that I thought of that are really important to me, but I have been missing or slacking a little lately in, so I decided to add some trackers this week. And you can see I haven't worked with this stencil in so long. It was a little awkward for me to line up the squares properly inside of the week's grid, but the more you use the stencils, the easier it gets and the more efficient you get with placing them and using them. So that's more user error than the stencil not being friendly. So I just used the little row of squares in the stencil to mark off 7 squares, each square representing a day of the week. And then after I got those marked off, I wrote in an abbreviation to the left of each row of the category that I wanted to track. So that ended up being my med, my vitamins, my water intake, and my daily devotional. And then at the very end, I just added a small letter of the first day of the week, Monday, Tuesday through Sunday, just to help me realize which square represents which day. So I will hopefully have all X's in those little check boxes by the end of the week. And then, even though this is another pen only spread, I decided to add a little inspirational quote at the bottom. So I just went to our friend Mr. Google and just sifted through some quotes this morning and ended up finding this one that I really liked. It was from Ray LeBlond, and it says, I don't have it in front of me now, but I believe it says, "You learn something every day if you pay attention." So that is it for this week's spread. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.